We're here just outside Newmarket at Vicarage Farm to catch up with the legend that is Adam Kirby. George, Adam, I suppose everybody knows him as multiple Group 1 winning jockey, Derby winning jockey, legend in the saddle, but behind the scenes he's a bit of a character, isn't he?
Yeah, he's good fun to be around, Mark. We've known him for a long time, and it'll be great for the viewers to see him at home, just in a relaxed environment and with his pre-training place, which he set up from scratch. He's
a top jockey, but he's more of a horseman. He's a farmer. He prepares his animals. He's got all kinds of animals up there, hasn't he? I mean, it'd be great to see him in his natural habitat, won't it?
Yeah, it's not an animal, Martin. It's not like we've gone to a zoo.
Well, he is. He's certainly an animal. We'll find out all about that. Shall we go and catch up with the maestro himself?
Definitely, yeah.
Come on, let's go. Leave the boiler suit on.
I'm not having it.
What?
Not having the abuse, mate. Nearly as bad as them wellies.
Oh. So this farm has always been in the family, yeah?
Yeah, moved here when I was 4.
4?
Yeah.
And you haven't left?
No.
Well, it must have changed a lot since then, huh?
Oh yeah, Pocket has as well.
Adam, most people probably know you as a top jockey, which you obviously are, but we're here at Vicarage Farm. I've never been here before. It's pretty impressive. Would I be right in saying this is probably the place where you most feel at ease? This is your home?
Yeah, absolutely. Sort of, I love the farm, and obviously we're obviously getting very hectic this time of year with horses, but it's all going well, and nice, tip top. It's all coming along nice.
So tell us a bit about the place. It's always been in your family, is that right?
Yeah, my dad bought it when I was 4, and then we moved here from Norwich, and we've been here ever since.
And you've made a lot of changes in that time.
Yeah, made a lot of changes. Don't know what Dad would say if he'd come back and realise what I'd done, but no, listen, hopefully he'd be happy about it. But no, it's just trying to improve things gradually. But like I say, Rome wasn't built in a day, and things just take time and cost a lot of money. But we're getting there.
Well, you say that, but you've had some fantastic results in terms of your pre-train horses, your break yearlings in for trainers, and you've been so successful. They've gone on to win, good races on the track. So, in terms of what you and Megan have built here, it's been a massive success already.
Yeah, no, it's obviously been at it quite a while now. I think maybe 7 years probably started doing it. So we're getting there. And now I've got a lot of class horses coming through, and I'm grateful for everyone's support on that side of it.
So tell us a bit about the farm itself. This is your main gallop behind there.
Yeah, so this is what we call the straight gallop, which we obviously use that for horses just to go a little bit faster. It's mainly more of the pre-training one that we'd use that for, and we have a circle gallop, which is sort of a sand, which is a couple of furlongs round, which they do all their conditioning work and all the steady stuff, and that's the main place we bring all the babies on the circle.
So you've got facilities to do anything really. You were saying on the way in you've got fillies literally on holiday just out in the paddocks.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of yearlings now been turned out to have their holidays before they go back in, probably before Christmas. So just gives them a chance to, just to unwind a little bit. Obviously, 90% of the ones we're doing have all been to the sales, which is, they've come from there, come back here, then they get broken in. It's a tough time for them, so it's nice to give them a little bit of letdown time if that suits.
In terms of the breaking in process, we all know that's a key part of a horse's life, the very start of them having a saddle on the back and having a rider on the back. How do you approach that to start with?
Regarding how do we do it?
Yeah, I mean...
So basically, I'd call it the old-fashioned way. We don't rush them. Make sure they're well long-reined, well driven. Make sure we can get them out and lunge them on 2 reins in open spaces, just to get them to chill out. And once they can do that, they're more or less ready. I mean, there is the odd few you can get on a little bit quicker, but no, we don't like to rush them.
So you take your time and do it the old-fashioned way, like you say.
Old-fashioned way.
I see you've got your Godolphin jacket on.
Yeah.
You've had some, we'll talk about this later on, but you've had some great success with Charlie Appleby riding for Godolphin. It must be a real feather in your cap, yourself and Megan, that not only does he trust you to ride them, but he trusts you to break them in. And these are £1 million horses we're talking about. These are the creme de la creme. You're breaking in. You're responsible for their best horses. You must be really happy with that.
Yeah, no, it's obviously it's something that I'm very grateful of, and you know, it seems, like I said, we're getting good results with a few of those that have obviously. Well, I say we're getting good results. Obviously, they're only just broken in here, but it's nice to see them when they're going on and they're turning out to be, you know, proper horses on the main stage.
Well, you must be doing a great job from the start, because obviously they're going on to have a great career, and if you're winning on them, they must be pretty good.
They must be, Martin. You're right. Yeah, yeah. So this is the gallop here, boys. This is so it started back there on that turn, but then it comes round that turn, and then once you get them straightened up, then we've got like 3 furlongs left to.
What surface have you got on there now?
I've got carpet on it. I did have wood chips, but it couldn't hold the traffic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
When I first come, you've done wood chip, and it was like you were just struggling to maintain it.
Yeah, it was just
And it was you had like big chips. It was like
yeah.
They were burning themselves on it.
Then I had to mix a load of little chips in with it then to get it to come right. But then I got 7 years out of it, but it was relentless. After every lot, you had to come on, harrow it. We just don't have the time for things like that. So we carpeted it, and to be fair, that holds the traffic lovely. It's easy on them, and I'm happy with it.
So here we are up at the Circle Gallop. Can you tell us a little bit about the surface up here?
Yeah. So when we put this originally in, we put a tapeta surface on it, which we just found out it was a bit too quick and a little bit too easy on them. So we topped it up now with this new surface that we've found, which is like it's mainly silica sand with some little chips in it, but it's you know, it's not too deep for the youngsters, but it's deep enough to you know, let them know they're doing a bit without straining them.
Yeah, and I suppose you want this kind of surface to make them work and use themselves properly, don't you? You don't want it too quick.
No, that was where I think we went wrong with the tapeta. It was just a small bit too fast, and it was just finding it all too easy on them, and then you know, they start misbehaving and doing silly things. But on this, it seems to be you know, good key to them. You know, it's just they don't get overly tired on it, but they know they've been on it.
That's good. And with the staff you've got here at the moment, how many members of staff do you have working out at any time?
At the minute, there's probably 10 or 12 there, I'd say. But listen, that's one thing I'm very, very lucky with. Got some you know, some real good hands around me, and you know, that's main key. Good riders, you know.
And you need that a lot, don't you? I see it in Lamble when I'm working there. Young horses need good staff, don't they, and good riders.
Yeah, just you know, it's a very important time for them. You know, it's the start of their you know, it's big school for them. You know, so it's nice that they're, you know, treated properly and ridden properly, and you know, when you put a good rider on the horse, they can pull them together and help them so much.
It's good to see you. You look very comfortable here, like in your surroundings. You obviously enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, obviously, of course. It's home. You know, I'd like to think we've improved the place a lot. You know, we're still not finished. We've still got a few things to do, but you know, it's you know, it's not, hasn't got all that much swagger, you know, but it's gets the job done, and horses are happy here. And
one quick question before we move on and meet everyone: when are you going to ask Megan the important question?
I'm waiting for her to ask me. Megs, imagine her marrying me. Oh, poor girl.
Well, Adam, you've got every kind of animal here on this farm. It's amazing. We've got chickens. I've never fed chickens before, so you're going to let me have a go at that?
Yeah, that's going to be an experience for you.
I'm more of a city boy. You really are a country boy at heart, aren't you?
Yeah, obviously, listen, love animals, and you know, that's what makes the place, you know.
I think we learned that in London on William's stag do. Do you remember? You were like a fish out of water. You didn't like it, did you?
No, I'm not really a city boy, but I was a small bit out of my comfort zone, but got into it in the finish. Yeah.
Especially when we left you. We lost you somewhere, didn't we? You found yourself in an Uber travelling around London.
No, you didn't.
You weren't happy.
You didn't lose me. You left me behind. And then I don't think people need to know what the rest of it was, Martin, to be honest.
Okay, well, moving swiftly on, you've got a puppy here, you've got chickens behind. Your mother-in-law's She's working away. Debs is there
Yeah,
looking after the chickens. You got an owl. You got racing pigeons.
yeah,
Mum's got greyhounds.
yeah. Mum's got a lot of greyhounds. There's the owl. He's in there
He's
somewhere.
in his box there. Did you put that up?
I did. Made that with little Charlie. He enjoyed making it, but I don't see him much.
So Charlie,
Something different.
Charlie and Evie, they must love it here. They must love growing up on this farm.
Yeah, no, I'd like to think they do. You know, I did when I was a young lad. So they've got everything. They've got everything they could want, and they run round and they can do anything. You know.
I've got to say, because the dog's eating the chicken feed. I've got to say, we know how hard it is being a jockey. The lifestyle, the travelling, the wasting, the riding. How hard it is. You know, it's really tiring. What makes you want to do all this in between? I mean, most jockeys turn up at the races dressed in a smart suit with a wash bag, go in and ride and go home again. And that's hard enough. What makes you want to do all this as well?
Not well in the head, am I really? No.
Took you a long while to figure that out.
No, I had to think about it. No, obviously, I'm obviously very passionate about obviously horses and things, but you know, I'd probably be a better horseman than I am a jockey, to be honest. So it's probably something different.
Yeah, that's something you're proud of, because you literally are a horseman. I mean, I've seen you wrestle 2-year-olds to the start where other jockeys would think, you know, you take a fall, you don't want to get back on these, but I've seen you do that plenty. You are a true horseman, true country person. And for the future, obviously you and Megan and the kids have done a great job setting this up, and it's been hard work. If I asked you, where do you think you'll be in 10 years, you know, will you be, you know, when you stop riding? I'm not saying you'll stop in 10 years, but when you stop, is all this heading towards the future?
Yeah, I think so. I think this hopefully is going to be the future. You know, every year we're getting bigger, hopefully getting better. You know, and you know, the class of horses are coming through, and that's what it's about. You know, doing. You know, it's all right saying, "Oh, broke umpteen horses," but you know, you need results out of them. You know.
Well, it's a tough life being a jockey, and it doesn't last forever. So you've got something, you've built something up already. So this, you know, you've got something when you finish, and this is your future, and very successful.
No, listen, hopefully, you know, we can continue to improve the place, and you know, hopefully things stay on the right road. And you know, regarding riding, that's not going to last forever, and that's probably, I think, why I started this up. When I did, it's probably just got a little bit bigger than I thought it would. But you know, that's a great thing. But we'll see.
Do you think you'll ever train?
Oh, I'd think about training. I do think about it a lot, but I don't know.
But it would interest you.
Yeah, it would interest me a lot, but you know, things are.
You could certainly train from here easily, couldn't you? The facilities are all set up.
You could do it easy, but.
So watch this space. Adam Kirby, the trainer in the future. That'd be interesting. If I'm still riding, will you give me a ride?
Yeah. Put you on a wild one.
I'll be riding. I'll be older than Jimmy Quinn, but that'll be something to look forward to. Let's feed these chickens. I've honestly never done it before.
You do that.
What do I do? Do I have to say anything?
Just chuck it in.
Do you think I look very countrified with my wellies?
I love them wellies.
They're good, aren't they? They're good like Godolphin wellies. Right, here we go. Go on, chickens. I've actually never fed chickens before. Do you think that's...
You're doing a good job, mate, yeah.
Would I get a job on the...
They're very fond of you.
Would I get a job at Vicarage Farm?
Yeah, be Clarkson's farm with him here, won't it? What's Clarkson's young apprentice called? What's he called?
Caleb.
Caleb, yeah. That'll be you. You're the next Caleb.
Yeah, I can't drive a tractor. Would you teach me how to drive a tractor?
Yeah, no problem.
We actually seen you when we first got here in your boiler suit, which you took off, which I'm gutted about.
I had to take it off because I knew I was going to get plenty of stick off you, Martin.
But you are literally hands-on. You do everything, don't you?
Well, no, have a go.
Well,
you're enjoying that, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I mean, I think I could get used to this country style. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I'll get you in there to collect the eggs, I think, in a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the eggs when they got all bits of straw on and stuff. And I like them in Waitrose when they're cleaning in a box.
Oh, right. Are you finding that therapeutic?
I quite like it.
Come on,
yeah.
man.
The dogs eat chicken feed.
So Adam, we're seeing all the young stock out in the little paddocks you've got made up here, and I just was very intrigued to know what you and Megan have done. Have you got any horses yourself at the moment? Well, Megan, obviously.
Yeah, well, obviously we've got a few mares. You know, I've had a bit of luck with them in the past, so we're just breeding a few. Got a couple of, got a nice filly by Harry Angel, so we look forward to for her having an outing next year, and hopefully she turns out to be okay.
And with that filly that you had the touch with, well, Megan had the touch with, declaring love on the listed race at Bath, that was the right result, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it's great, and you know, it's nice to see her go and do that. And she ended up getting a bit more black type towards the end of the year there. So you know, she's retired now, and hopefully you know, we'll get her in for early season.
Do you know what you're going to send her to?
Yeah, I don't want to say unless I get the thumbs up.
Okay, leave it at that. But that was a good, and it pained you to say Pat Cosgrove gave a good ride at Bath.
Patsy was good on there, yeah, wasn't he? No, I'll give him his due. He's good jockey, Patsy. Isn't he? You know, there was only a fag paper in it, and no, fair play to him. I made it count.
That's good. And with the horses you got turned out here, you sort of got to some of these paddocks are just fenced off with soft fencing. You think that's important with young stock?
Yeah, obviously. Listen, they can, you know, if they hit it, they can get out of it and just keep them injury free. And just a few of them guys over there, we don't want them, you know, kicking each other and doing anything silly.
And this is time for you to be nice, Adam. I'm going to ask you a serious question now. What part does Megan play in the whole setup here?
Oh, she's very, very important. She's, you know, she's a main organiser of everything. She oversees everything, makes sure things run smoothly. To be fair to her, she does a great job, you know, fantastic.
And she's good with people, isn't she? She organises them well. It's I always see her, she's sort of the brains behind the operation as such.
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree. But no, listen, fair play to her. And like you say, listen, she's good with everyone, and you know, she's strict when she needs to be strict, and you know, no, she does a great job. But you know, regarding all of our staff here and things like that, you know, fair play to all them, because you know, without them, none of this could be happening. So they're doing a great job.
That's a good answer.
These are all yearlings, so they've just started their holidays. All these boys, these are still being, well, they're broken in.
Yeah.
They just need a little bit more time before they go back to their trainers. Okay. But just sling them out there, let them have a squeal and a roll. They're happy.
Well, they just come in at night then?
Yeah.
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 So we're seeing the gallops and all the paddocks and stuff. Without stating the obvious, this is the stables where all the horses sleep at night, and I guess the ones that are turned out will come back in for the evening. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, all them boys, they're just out there for a little hour or two's play, and try and get them out sort of once a week, just for a bit of play time, and get them, just mellows them out, gets them chilled out, and that seems to be working doing that way.
What, the boxes are massive, aren't they? Why are they bigger than the standard stables? What's that about?
So I'm unsure. Dad bought this off of Frankie Durr when obviously I was a very young boy, so I never really got a chance to really ask him why he built the boxes so big. But obviously he used to train from here, and you know, he was obviously a renowned jockey.
So it was a training establishment to start with?
Yeah, well, he definitely trained from here, yeah. Right, obviously, okay. I don't know the ins and outs, because obviously I was far too young, and you know, I'd love to have a chat with him now to find out where he had everything, and obviously what he used to do.
You have to figure that one out yourself.
Yeah, I heard that the gallop was across the road. He had a big grass gallop up there, and a gentle climb across the road, but obviously
I don't think I've ever seen a barn this clean before. Is it that especially because we were coming, or is that every day?
No, to be fair, once everything's mucked out, the lads do an excellent job and
clean up,
try and keep things right.
And this is a tool of the trade, every horse walker. That comes in handy? Yeah,
no, a good tool, good for warming them up and take the freshness off a few of them, and yeah, excellent. Couldn't be. I don't think anyone can be without one nowadays, to be honest, mine.
Yeah, it's how long did he go on there for?
All different. You know, some would be on there for maybe 20 minutes, and some would go on there for maybe 40 minutes. But no, it's good for them. They get to have a squeal and a buck and a kick on there, and it keeps them happy.
And this obviously is barn 2. I have to say, you've got some fancy pedigrees here, Adam. Is that a bit of pressure looking after, because you're effectively babysitting, breaking in all these expensive yearlings? Is there a bit of pressure there, knowing how much they cost?
When I started doing it, there was, yeah. But I've been lucky that things have gone smoothly, and listen, they all get the best of care from what we can do. And you know, if you'd break them in differently if you started looking at price tags, you'd be frightened to death of them. But no, they all get treated the same.
I suppose that's a good point, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't worry about what they cost. You just got to get on and do the job you're doing. What's the most expensive horse you've had through? In
I think one of them was a couple of million.
Really?
Last year. Yeah, no, but didn't find that out until he left.
I'd be worried about looking after a £2 million horse for that length of time. Well, listen, it's been great to look around the place and see what goes on, but let's go and have a little chat about Adam Kirby, the jockey. Let's have a little look at your career, eh?
Oh, no.
Well, Adam, we've had a tour around your estate. We've moved inside. You've had a little wash and you've brushed your hair and put a shirt on and everything, looking smart. So let's talk about Adam Kirby, the jockey. So where did it all start for you?
Where did it all start? So I started riding when I was quite young. Here, had a little pony called Timmy. Then didn't really have a lot of interest, and then started again when I was about 7 or 8 with a guy called Malcolm Bryson, who's a top man. He's still a good friend of mine, actually. And he used to bring me out, used to go around the roads with him. And that's how I really more or less started to learn to ride with him. And then my dad bred a few yearlings. Well, they're quite wild. And we had a girl called Stephanie Reed who used to come and break them in the afternoons after she had finished at James Fanshaw's. And I ended up spending a lot of time with her, watching her, and she was big help to get me going regarding improve my riding a little bit more, well, a lot more. And she was a big help, and she started bringing me to a few shows, and she always had a lot of time for me, which she was the main one who sort of got me going, and then she got me riding out at James Fanshaw's on Saturdays, which is something that helped me even more. And I was probably only about 12 at this stage, I think, maybe 13.
You were riding out racehorses at 12?
Yeah, he used to enjoy it because he used to put me on a little filly most Saturday mornings called Soar, and she ended up being very, very good. And we used to go around a gallop called I think it was called the frying pan. You can imagine when 20 or 30 yearlings went scattered everywhere, and James used to lead us, and I used to bomb her around there, and she ended up being very good. But it was great memories when I was younger, being there.
So at what point did you decide you wanted to be a jockey? Was it literally at 12 years of age?
We went on holiday to France with my brother and my mum and dad, and we went to a flapping track. Well, I think it was a flapping track. If it wasn't, it was pretty rough and ready.
Just explain flapping trap. What?
So from what I could gather from it, it was non-registered racehorses going around there, from what I could kind of gather, and it was pretty rough and ready. There was no stables for the horses. They were all in the horse boxes, and when I watched it live, that's where I got the buzz from, hearing the horses thundering past, and it's, that's what lit the flame, so to speak.
So you came back from your holiday, 12 years of age, you're riding out for James Fanshawe, and school, did that just take a back seat after that?
School, it took a massive back seat, mine, yeah. So I more or less, well, I did leave school when I was 12 in the 6 weeks holiday. I never went back. and my mum was very supportive of me having home tutoring and trying to help me a little bit, because I suffer quite badly with dyslexia, and if I'm not interested in something, it's a waste of time trying to explain it to me, and I just struggled a lot with things, and Mum and Dad really helped me a lot to learn the rights and wrongs, and reading and writing improved a lot through doing that. And then it was more or less here from there onwards.
That's quite a brave shout, isn't it? I suppose that enabled you to get over the dyslexia by doing the things you enjoy and then focusing on that when you needed to. That has never held you back, though, in terms of racing, hasn't it? You can...
No, it's had... I don't feel as if it has. I don't think I've really struggled with anything regarding horses whatsoever, But it's probably helped me a lot in my younger years to learn a lot more about horses, because I was here watching it and not in school, which was just a complete waste of time to me.
And that early door stuff for you, and I was very much the same. I got into it really young. I think it makes you. One thing I always see when I watch you ride all the time, and I've been ridden with you for a long, long time, before I had to retire, was you're very natural. You always look at one with the horse. You're a big lad, and you took yourself away tremendously well. That early door stuff must have really helped with that.
Yeah, I think it did, and I'd probably feel that I'm a better horseman than I would be a rider. Do you know what I mean? But no, we'll see.
But what do you mean by that? Because your record has shown you're a fantastic jockey, and you've got horses up to win that other jockeys would not have won on, in my opinion, and a lot of other people. So what do you mean by you're more of a horseman than a jockey?
I think I understand horses a lot. I can't really explain it, Martin, to be honest, but I just feel that I can handle them and understand them better than I can other things.
If we move on to you becoming an apprentice, did you start off in Newmarket as an apprentice? Because you ended up in Lambourne, didn't you, for quite a while?
Yeah, I started as an apprentice with Michael Wigham, who is a fantastic trainer, I feel. I think he's very, very, very good. And he was, an excellent tutor for me to start with. And he used to spend a lot of time talking to me and trying to explain things to me, and full marks to him, because he was a great tutor for me to start with, and I learned a lot from him.
Well, he was a successful jockey himself, wasn't he? So it was probably good to be with a trainer who used to ride as well. So that got you going, didn't it? So what prompted the move from Newmarket to Lambourne?
There was Michael's. I was having discussions with me and Dad, and he said that I needed to go to a much bigger, trainer, and which I wasn't very happy about, because I was sort of had my own little thing with Michael, and we got on well, and but then we ended up, unfortunately, we had a bit of a fallout, and then luckily Clive Cox, I rode a horse for Clive called Out After Dark, and he won the Portland, and we were stood up getting our prizes afterwards, and he said, will you come and be my apprentice? And with that was the next move then to Clive's.
Well, you've had some fantastic days with Clive. I mean, would you put him down as he's the man who put you on the map, he's the trainer? Because I know you and him have a fantastic relationship.
Yeah, no, Clive's top man. He's great. He's a great guy, and like I said, we've had a great relationship now for a long time. Maybe 15 years, I think it is now. But
which is rare in racing, isn't it?
Yeah, usually get the sack in 6 months, don't we?
Normally don't.
No, usually. But no, listen, get on great with him, and full credit to him. He was the one that put me on. Got me going with better class horses, and things really got going then.
You were, if you don't mind me saying, you were a little bit of a tearaway back then in Lambourne, weren't you? I remember, didn't my father-in-law chase you off his yard once? You were shooting pigeons or something. You were a little bit rough around the edges.
Yeah. Wild child. No, I wasn't too bad. Listen, we've all got past. We've all done some silly things, but at the time, it things seemed to be a good idea, but you soon realise you've made the wrong shout. But no, listen, I wouldn't change my what should we say, childhood. I wouldn't change any of that.
Part of growing up, wasn't it?
Yeah, because
and that's what you became known as Squeak, didn't he? He was Squeak around the weighing room. Do you remember when he first came to the weighing room?
I do. I will never forget. I think one of the first times I met you, you walked into the weighing room at Lingfield, and you were just starting off, and you were riding on a. I think you were riding quite regularly for Gay Calloway at the time. She sort of identified you early doors as a good £7 apprentice, which people tend to latch onto, don't they? And I can't remember who I sat by, and they said, he's a real good young lad, him, but he won't be around in 2 years, and you're still going now. So testament to you, because obviously it's been difficult with your weight and so forth, but it's amazing that you'll still keep kicking and such.
Yeah, no, listen, racing's been very, very good to me. And when I did start riding, with all honesty, I didn't think really I'd get much more than a couple of years out of it. I started to get heavy quick. I think when I had my first ride, I think I was very, very light, maybe 7 stone 7. But then I was really skinny, and then I just started to grow and fill out, and ended up getting a lot more heavier. Yeah, no, listen, it's been very kind to me.
You got big quickly, didn't you? Because in the words what Ray Cochran used to say, you were a scrawny kid with a squeaky voice for a long time, and then you got heavy quite quickly.
Yeah.
And listen, we'll talk a bit more about Clive Cox in a bit, but I always felt a turning point in your career for me was when you were riding for the late great Walter Swinburne, and people compared you to him as a rider as well. And I think maybe because you've got massive hands there, they're twice the size of mine, but everyone says you've got fantastic hands. You were able to settle a horse, and Walter Swinburne rode in a very similar way. Did he have a big impact on your career?
He was very, very helpful, and again, it was sort of level 3 of sort of jockey tuition. He was great to listen to, and great to ride for as well. I think he could give you a lot of confidence in there. Do you know what I mean? When you know what I mean, George. Like when you give the saddle across, some trains you think, you're looking at them a bit funny, and then sort of you can stand back a bit. But with him, it was just you know what you're doing, and he was just always full of praise. And I think you ride better when you have that relationship with the trainer,
And do you think he helped mould you? Because one strength I've always felt with you massive is your judgment of pace is amazing in my opinion. You're as good as you get, and you trust your judgment, and a lot of it's feel, I think. Do you know what I mean? You have a plan that you put into place, but you feel how a race is going to unfold really well. And is that something that he helped you with?
Yeah, which is basically what I was trying to explain a minute ago. Like when a trainer can give you confidence, you just go out there and you let it happen. Do you know what I mean? And then it just does happen. And he used to love his horses. Mr. Swinburne and Mr. Harris also loved them sort of held up and finish off, and always go the shortest way. And if you don't get a run, you don't get a run. And if it opens up, great. Which it's a great thing when you can go out there and ride like that, because you don't need to come in and explain yourself, and they just give you so much confidence,
And he was I always remember the first proper good horse I remember you riding was it Stotsfold?
Stotsfold was a very good horse. The one before him was Fairmile. He won the John Smith's Cup. He ended up, I think he ended up winning the Group 3 as well in the finish. And then Stotsfold. They were both two very, very similar horses, but they had great gear changes if you could get them to relax for the first half of the race, you know.
And did Stotts he travelled around a bit, didn't he, towards the end of his career?
Yeah, he went to the Arlington Million.
Because I always remember, tell the story about when you rode in the Arlington Million and you asked your man next to you in the store what he was going to do.
Yeah. So that was actually quite good.
Did he report you for asking him?
No.
Oh, it's hilarious. Have you not heard it, Martin?
No.
Oh, I see this.
In England, like, you know, you're in the stores and you say, all right, what are we up to? Obviously, don't you? Blah, 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 and then you just fiddle your way through and get your position. And I said to him, oh, all right, mate, what are you up to? What? I looked at him. Oh, he says, you mad? You taking drugs? This is $1 million race. I ain't telling you yeah, I forgot. Did you beat him? Did you win that race? He was actually third. But he ran a great race. I thought he was actually going to win when we turned in and straightened up, and I thought he was nearly going to do it, but he ended up finishing third. He ran a great race, but.
So what did you say back to him? Do you remember who it was?
I didn't, Martin. I don't think the bell went and the gates were open and we were off and going. But
you probably ruined his race. He's probably gone around thinking, "What the hell?"
I won't be asking an American jockey what he's doing next time I'm sat next to one anyway.
But that's the thing, isn't it? People don't see that side of things. As jockeys, we ride against each other, and sometimes it's all about kidology. Because like I'll be in the stalls next to you. I've read the form. I know you're on a front runner. I'm on a front runner. I might say, I'll ask you what you're doing, and I know you're going to lie through your back teeth if you want to. Sometimes you might say, you're asking, you know you're not going to get the answers, but it's just, you're trying to put a mental picture of how a race is going to pan out, and it's kind of, it just gives you a little bit of an insight, doesn't it? But obviously abroad, they don't do that.
No, they don't appreciate it, Martin.
No, because it happened in Hong Kong. Somebody asked the jockey next to him, and they went and reported him to the stewards.
Really?
Yeah. But we do it as a kind of, you're trying to get a little bit of an advantage, and sometimes like I say, they lie to you, don't they, and say I'm going to do this, and they don't.
Yeah, no, unfortunately they do. But listen, that's life and that's racing, isn't it? And we've all got to go out there with some sort of a game plan, and before the gates open, you've got 90% of an idea of how it's going to unfold and who you want to follow through, or such and such forth. But listen, we'll all learn from our mistakes, don't we? Huh?
But going back to that, are you a jockey that likes to ride on instincts?
I used to.
Now you listen to trainers?
No. Yeah, well I do. No, but listen, I'm very, very privileged, which I ride for. Obviously, Clive Cox is my main guy, and he never, very, very rarely ties me down with orders. He lets me go out there, and I'll tell him before what I think might happen or what I assume is going to happen, and he'll just say, right, well, you know what you're doing then. I'll leave it to you, But that's just why.
It's so much better that way, though, isn't it? I mean, I always remember Richard Hannon Senior when he used to say, a good jockey doesn't need instructions, and a bad one couldn't carry them out anyway.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. But
I think that's a trust thing from Clive with you. I think you underplay it, how much he trusts you. Like, that's evolved over a long period of time, and he trusts you to go out there and get the job done. Yeah,
no, just fair play to him. I think if I was getting the saddle off myself, I'd maybe look at it in a different manner. Yeah, no, fair play to Clive. He's a top man, isn't he? Yeah.
If we go back to, I think it was 2013, you were champion all-weather jockey. Is that right?
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
Done it a few times.
I think after that, did you use the all-weather as a springboard?
Basically, I kept going because I've always ridden summer and winter, because I've never wanted to give my body too much of a chance to get too heavy, and I've just kept active, and and the all-weather was always very, very good to me regarding I had all my trainers, had everything. I had regular horses to ride, and horses that we go in there, you could have 3 or 4 rides every day, and you'd be looking at them as one of them out of the 3 or 4 has got a live chance, and that's what it's about. It's about going to work. You've got to earn some money and going there and getting them to run well for your people.
I think you two had a bit of a battle, didn't you, for champion jockey one year in the all-weather?
No, I unfortunately, Martin, I could never really get close to Adam, but it was someone I respected massively when I was riding on the weather, because I had the same thing as Adam. I hung around and would always sort of look after my weight as such. I had one real good tussle with Luke Morris, and he was sort of your main person you were always battling out with. And it's always difficult when you're struggling with your weight, because I'd sort of see you 9 stone would be rock bottom, and you'd sort of do that when it was important. So you've got to identify the right horses to ride at times. Yeah,
I still do that now. I'm not as busy as I used to be. I'd like to probably be a small bit busier than what I am regarding the track wise. But we're just a small bit more picky now, and
so that's a choice thing, is that?
Yeah, I think so, Martin, because obviously it's there's probably only 3 horses in a handicap, well, 4 maybe 5 that I could ride in a handicap regarding the weight. So
you've got so much going on here. You're consciously spending a bit more time at home, running the business, and sort of picking and choosing when you ride, a bit like Frankie.
Oh yeah, no, geez, I wouldn't know where in that league, but no, listen, I just think I was very, very busy, a couple of years ago, and now it's just a little bit older, probably a little bit wiser, and a small bit lazier, I think.
It's hard to maintain that for a long period of time, isn't it? Because it's relentless on your body, and I was in awe of how busy you used to be. You're nearly 1,000 rides a year, man, weren't you? It's hard to maintain that for a long period of time.
No, listen, obviously, it was great at the time, and the winners kept coming, and you thoroughly enjoy it. But when George, that when you've got to sweat hard every day to ride, and when you're doing it every day all year round, then it just starts getting a bit of a mental drain. And I just think now that's where it's changed for me, because I'm lucky enough to not to be that busy, where before I thought, oh, you have to do it, you have to ride that, and you have to go to work. Do you know what I mean? As now, as just a bit older and a bit wiser, and just say no, I'll have a day off.
Doing things more to suit you. We just mentioned Luke Morris. He was obviously, you had some epic battles with him on the all-weather, as we said. Who do you think's more stylish, you or Luke Morris in the finish?
I knew you were going to come out with something stupid.
We're guessing.
Obviously me.
Yeah. Okay, so you obviously at that period you were riding every day. You're riding on the all-weather. You were flat out. So let's move on now to more quality rather than quantity. You had some great years, sort of 2015 onwards. Rode some really good horses for Clive Cox, winners at Royal Ascot. My Dream Boat winning the King. What did he win? The Prince of Wales. You had tell us about that. That was a turning point in your career, riding proper horses.
Yeah, no, that week was a week I'd never forget, because we had.
Neither will I, Adam.
No,
you beat him in the King's Stand, didn't you?
Profitable, yeah.
Nailed it.
That was a massive day, that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously Megan let you off, which was amazing. The birth of your first child, Charlie.
Yeah, when in the hospital with her, waiting for Megs to pop him out, and had to leave her to go and ride him. But no, that was probably for the best. I'm not really into.
So you literally left Megan in labour.
Yeah.
Legged it down to Royal Ascot.
Yeah, Dudley come pick me up, and poor old Meg, she walked the box all night that night in the hospital. It was horrible. I went to sleep. But, no, it was horrible for her, but no, listen, she said, you go to work, and luckily I did, and that was the day. Yeah, profitable, won the King's Stand, beat poor old George.
Everyone's gone, oh, we're delighted for Adam, it's been an amazing day for him. I said, it's not amazing for me. Pardon my French.
He hasn't forgot it, has he?
No, he hasn't. I don't blame him. He was horrible finishing second in decent races. There's no worse a feeling, is there?
Oh, it's horrible. Yeah. Everyone goes, oh, it ran great. It's brutal, isn't it? I'm sure you're aware of that.
So you nipped home and seen the baby, seen Charlie.
Charlie was born a couple of hours before Profitable actually won. So he was born more or less as soon as I'd got to Ascot. So that was good. That was great. So after that, then
So
we went back and I got a picture. She sent me a picture of him. Yeah, it was lovely. Good memories.
And you went out into the paddock to ride. I suppose you're probably riding that you're so relaxed then at that point, are you? It's just happy.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
You couldn't be in it. Maybe you should have some more children.
Yeah, no, the kids have been very lucky to me. But no, listen, it was a great day and a great week. No, it'll be a week I'll never forget.
You've had some great winners for Clive Cox. You obviously enjoy riding. We've touched on it. You enjoy riding for him. What's the horse you enjoyed most riding for him?
Ooh, we've had some really nice ones.
Harry's Angel, and you won a lot.
You had some good sprinters, haven't you?
Very, very
but
good.
Collectively, I was looking for your big race record for the sprinters. I mean, it'd be hard to split them up on that. Which one?
They were all very, very good horses. Lethal Force was he was a real good horse to ride because he could really rip along and he could cover some ground and he could cruise. He had a really, really high cruising speed, and he could quicken and lengthen all the way and keep going.
He was very hardy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I just loved how he looked like he was.
He'd never lie down.
Lying down for you.
Yeah, he'd never lie down. He'd keep going.
Yeah.
But no, he was a great horse, and obviously profitable, was an exciting horse to ride. He always rode him for a little bit of luck. He needed to get there late because when he hit the front, he thought he'd won. So he's but no, and then Harry Angel's probably the.
He was fast, wasn't he?
He was.
Would he be one of the fastest you've ever ridden?
Yeah.
And wasn't he a bit tricky in the stalls?
Yeah, he had a few bad days in the gates, but we all have bad days, mine.
Yeah, we do. So I seem to have more bad days than good ones at the minute. But I'll tell you a race I want to ask you about. 2015, the Hardwick Stakes. Do you remember?
Frankie.
You were riding postponed. Frankie was riding Eagle Top for John Gosden.
Got the sack after that.
From the owner of
Shake of
Postponed.
Age, yeah.
Really?
So tell us about that. Well, I can tell you now because it was a long time ago. I didn't say anything at the time, but I got the blame for so-called bad riding that day, which I just took. I had to take because I wasn't in the position to stand up and say anything. So we'd popped off and we'd gone probably half a mile, and we're all just sort of obviously funneling in, and Frankie's the favourite, I think it was the favourite on the day, was sat in second, or the one he obviously thought he had to beat was sat in second on the girths of the leader, and there was no one on the fence in the box seat. So I've creeped up on his outside and just went, Frank, get him behind the leader. I'll let you out in the straight. So, it's fair, that is.
Yeah, so you tried to move him in because he's keeping you wide.
That was fair race riding.
Yeah.
So you've got to be honest, because he'd have been helping me by getting a bit of cover, and it'd have just been a smooth race, and we'd have pulled down the straight and the best horse would have gone and won. And some rude language later, a few times, he said, no. So then I just put a little bit of pressure on him to go in a bit, and he wouldn't. So then when we straightened up, I didn't let him out. He never let me in. So I took the brunt of that, but, that was that, Martin.
It was an interesting
Then I got the
race.
sack.
That was unfair. You didn't deserve the sack. You were just riding the race. I think John Gosden was a little bit vocal afterwards, wasn't he?
Yeah, listen, to be fair to him, I can't blame John Gosden for what he said. Of course he was going to be upset, and put a bit of pressure on his horse at halfway, and then I wouldn't let him out in the straight. But it works both ways. It takes two to tango, as they say.
So what did you learn? What did you take from that experience?
Don't ask Frankie to go on the box seat. He don't like it down there. Huh?
So you literally bit your tongue because you never said anything back publicly, did you?
No, because I probably wouldn't now anyway, to be honest, because it doesn't.
It's not your style to be like that, is it? You're very.
Not really. I'll have my little go if I need to there, and then it'll be over and forgotten about. But that's life.
Well, the proof is in the pudding because you've ridden very successfully for John Gosden after that.
Yeah.
And I think it was Lady Banford owned that horse, Eagle's Top, and you've gone on to ride some very good horses for her, haven't you? So it was the right thing to do.
yeah, no, listen, she's obviously a fantastic fantastic lady, and I enjoy riding for her, and hopefully we'll get a good one for her soon.
So I just wanted to, I just always, you know, that those sort of winters where you were sort of the go-to man on the weather, and I felt that's where where the association with Charlie Appleby started?
Yeah, I think I'd had a few rides for him on the grass beforehand, and then I think he had a heat to run on the all-weather, so I ended up getting a good relationship with him that way, yeah. And then, and I ended up riding some very, very good horses for him on the all-weather.
Because he used to keep a few real top-class horses back for the winter campaign, didn't he? And obviously the boys would be in Dubai, so you picked up some really good spares. I was very jealous of you at the time.
Yeah. I was very, very lucky to get on.
What was that real good sprint? Was it Pretend that you rode for him?
Yeah, he was a machine on the all-weather, wasn't he? But he could really quicken up. But I'm very, very lucky to, have any sort of a relationship with anything, regarding Godolphin. It's absolutely tip top, and his horse is a push button.
Well, let's get into it then. Let's start. This leads us on nicely. We've seen the Kazoo breeches behind you. I presume you were wearing them the first Saturday in June this year. Come on, tell us all about that day.
Yeah, it was a great day. Got to the races nice and chilled out, and Ed Dunlop come walking towards me. He'd been walking the track with his stick. And I think he had his family with him. And I said, "Oh, Governor, give me that stick so I can give you a good beating with it." And we ended up having a laugh, and it was forgotten about. But
so that's to do with, because originally you were booked to ride Ed's horse, John Leaper, and shortly after that, Charlie asked you to ride his horse.
Yeah, within 5 minutes. But because I. Had said to me, you need to put your name beside him now. And I said, "Oh, yeah, okay." Well, he was second or third favourite. He was a pretty good horse going into that
John
race.
Leaper, yeah.
He was a pretty good horse going into that race. But then Charlie rang a couple of minutes later. But then luckily, thank God, he gave me the ride back on. Then he let me ride Adiar.
So you got the phone call off Ed saying, "Oh, sorry, we're going to use Frankie, your old enemy from Ascot," and then you jogged O'Sheen off. Charlie Appleby very kindly put you back on at Adiar, and the rest is history. But that must have been extra special. The fact that Charlie had the faith in you to take off the champion jockey, O'Sheen Murphy, the flavour of the month for everyone. He took him off, put you back on him. I mean, that must have give you confidence, and the fact you wanted to beat Ed's horse as well. Yeah,
no, listen, obviously it was a fantastic day, and like I said at the time, I'll never be able to thank Charlie enough, So that was a great day, and great feeling, and hopefully it might happen again. You never know, but hopefully. Well, you've done it. You've done it once anyway. Only top jockeys win derbies, apparently, Adam. Yeah.
Yeah, not me. I won the winter derby. Does that count?
Yeah, does count.
And I just that race as it unfolded. I did a course walk with Martin beforehand, and we were saying, if you caught on the rail, it could be really difficult. You had a real perfect trip on the inside, didn't you? And when that gap came, obviously you were cantering at the time, weren't you? And it was not even really a gap, but you had so much horse, he sort of manipulated it perfectly, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he was good. He was good on the day, to be fair to him. He got in there quick, and he didn't have a lot of room because he's a big old unit,
But were you aware at that point, if that came, it was, I think a lot of people would have thought, I'm not sure about that. You were...
You know yourself, George. You have no time to think.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Yeah. He said that was resolved, didn't
he? If you know yourself, if you think about, shall I get in there? Shall I get in there? It's over. Yeah. It's over.
Dwyer back on the inside from Mojo Star, then Hurricane Lane. McSweeney is on the move now, and John Leaper making ground from the back of the field. Third Realm is outpaced, One Ruler begins to run on, Southern Lights is well beaten, and now Dwyer goes on up the far side from Hurricane Lane. It's Godolphin, 1 and 2, Bolshoi Ballet is not finding anything, and it's Dwyer that leads the Derby field, 3 lengths clear. Mojo Star a massive outsider second, and Hurricane Lane in third, and it's going to be a shock result. Dwyer and Adam Kirby for a first classic success, and Dwyer is pouring on and striding clear to win the Kazoo Derby. Dwyer wins by about 5 lengths.
Well, you certainly took the bull by the horns. Do you think watching my race, you probably give you the incentive?
Yeah, you've done something very similar, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah. Sir Percy.
I've got to say, you are a tough character. You're a bit shy. Not everybody knows the real Adam Kirby. We're fortunate enough. We put up with you every day. We know what you're like. But I always think you're not afraid to be emotional, and you don't mind a little bit of a cry now and again, do you?
No, listen. They say it takes a real man to cry, doesn't it?
That's probably why I don't. But crossing the image I remember screaming the place down when you won the Derby. But for me, there was an iconic bit of footage when you crossed the line. You looked in pure disbelief you'd won the Derby, but you looked up at the heavens. Were you looking for your dad?
Yeah, bless him. He'd have loved to have seen that. But yeah, miss him. Something terrible, really. And especially, he never saw me ride a Group 1 winner. But no, listen, Mum was watching, so that was the main thing, you know. But no, I looked up and give Dad a thanks, because you never know. He might give him a shove on the day, you know.
He'd have been watching, because he was obviously instrumental part of your career. In your early career, he drove you racing, didn't he? He drove you everywhere.
Yeah, he took me everywhere. He used to take me a ride out. He used to bring me everywhere. And then, no, he was top man. He was very, very good to me, my father, and it was a very sad loss. And I think that's why I got a little bit upset after the race, really, because I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about Mum as well, and watching, because like that is one race that she loves, you know. She'd go out of her way to watch that, you know, and my Mum's not really that type of person, so that's why I got a little bit teary.
Well, it was good to see, though, wasn't it? It was really nice. It was raw, and I think that's why people warm to you so much, because they see you and it looks so real. You don't just say what you think you should say, politically correct, and you just say it how it is. I think you did an interview with Lydia straight afterwards, and it was a really good interview, and you spoke about Mum and Dad, and I did like one of your quotes was, I think it was referring to losing the ride on John Leaper. You said, "Don't be bitter,
Don't be
better."
bitter, be better. Yeah.
What's that all about?
That's a good saying, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
That's a good saying. No, listen, there's no point looking back at things, and you've got to bring it to the table and come forward afterwards, haven't you?
And big party for the Derby?
Yeah.
How long did it last?
2 days. Yeah, 2 days. Megan actually done a great job when I got back to the yard. They didn't tell me, obviously, and when I got back, then there was hundreds and hundreds of people. Just kept turning up, and she got my friend Andrew to put a bit of music on in the yard, and we all had a listen to that and a boogie for a few hours, and then next thing you know, it was day 2. But yeah, day 3 I didn't feel too great. No, but it was a good time. Listen, if you can't celebrate them, it's a waste of time being in the job. And
even extra special, because you did actually break in at here at your farm, didn't you?
Yeah, no, it's fantastic, you know, fantastic to be associated with such good horses, you know.
So were you the first person ever to ride him?
Oh, I can't remember, Martin.
You broke him in anyway. I don't think that was ever been done before. No. I didn't get near Sir Percy till he was well into March, and he was going straight.
To be fair, Marcus wouldn't let you near him till then anyway.
He tried to take me off him afterwards. Obviously, pinnacle of your career so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you mentioned Megan. Tell us, because we can all agree, I don't think people realise what our wives have to go through. And our wife, well, Megan's not your wife yet, is she? But partners, what they go through, the ups and downs, because it's not easy. Are you a bit of can you be grumpy when you've gotten beat, or you've...
I'd come out. Sometimes, yeah. I think sometimes probably take it out as well. Probably take it out as well sometimes. But before racing, when you're sweating and things, that's when I'd be at my most fieriest.
When you're under pressure, sort of thing, because it's head frying, isn't it, when you know you're sort of behind the.
You know yourself, your back's against the wall, and you've got to get in that bath, or you've got to go running, or you've got to do whatever you've got to do. You know, I'm not saying I'm the only jockey that does it now. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of lads that, but that's when I've got to take weight off. That's when I'd be at my most fieriest.
So, Derby winner, you've ridden over 100 winners for the last, God knows, 10 years. What are your future ambitions in the saddle? What would you like to win? What would you like to do? Anything?
It's not really the first time I've been asked that, and I don't, if I'm honest, I don't really have sort of goals. Obviously, the goal, you know, the first goal at the start of every year is go out there and try and get over 100 winners, because obviously if you're not, you know, it's an achievement in itself, isn't it? If you can just like sort of hold that, and I've been lucky enough to hold sort of around 100, you know, for quite a long time now, and that's really the main goal. Regarding what races to win and what to do, I've never really had goals like that, and I probably won't make goals like that either.
I always felt looking at you from the outside, and tell me if I'm wrong, that your main job is to just keep your people happy. And
yeah, exactly that. You know, you start of every season with Clive and 2-year-olds. Yours, you know, you need one good one. If you get one good one, then sort of the pressure's off, and you just ride away around that. But the main thing is just to try and find that one good horse every year.
So you could have easily gone off into the sunset this winter and probably gone to Dubai, rode some Godolphin horse out there and taken it easy, but you chose to stay here and keep grafting.
Yeah, no, like I said earlier, it's, you know, it's something that I enjoy, and I love working with young horses, and you know, it's exciting when them few months soon tick past, and before you know it, they're on the track, and when they win, it just gives you that little bit of a kick, you know.
Right, Adam, you've been riding, what, 20 years now?
17.
17. Best horse you've ever ridden?
Adia.
Adia, well, that's obvious.
I've got one for you. What's the best sprint you've ridden? Because that's a proper one. I was looking through.
It's a very, very hard question, because, like I said, they were all proper horses in their own right. I think if I pull one out of the bag,
if they were all lining up, 6 furlongs, Royal Ascot, who would you pick?
at Royal Ascot, I'd pick
Yeah.
Lethal Force.
You've good at Ascot. You've had a lot of good winners at Ascot, haven't you?
It's been very lucky to me.
Do you
He's
enjoy
nutted me. I'll tell you what, honestly, this man is my nemesis. Remember the Royal, it's been brutal. You've nutted me so many times.
Did he beat you in nose, did he?
Yeah. It was
Cool, it'd have been a photo finish, wouldn't it? Would have been.
There's not much in it.
The three of us, all we need is Mosse here for the fourth time.
Yeah.
We've all got big noses. Don't feel embarrassed if the answer's somebody sat in this room, but the best jockey you've ever ridden against?
The best jockey I've ever ridden against? Good question. I think I'm going to say Kieran Fallon.
Yeah, that's a big shout.
I've got one question I've always wanted to ask you, and I've kind of brushed over it a few times when I've seen it. Where did the style you've evolved, the bump, and people will always say to you, is it something that's just evolved over a period of time, or did you purposely work on that?
So I started it. I didn't used to do it, and I started it sort of when I was after 4, maybe 5 years of riding. Then I started to do it because I just felt that I wasn't getting the horse's attention. Just, do you know what I mean? So I felt that when I did give them a bump and a kick, I just felt that I could get a little bit more out of them.
It was so funny because when you started doing it, I'll never forget it. Everyone started trying to copy it.
Yeah, there was a few nearly fell off.
There was a period of time and no one could do it. It was funny.
Well, it went out of style. I mean, you know, Pat Edry was the original and it worked for him. Horses would run forward And I'm not just saying it because we're here, but I think there's only you and him that have ever perfected that. A lot of other jockeys did it, but you seem to be in rhythm. You kind of do it as the horse is going forward, and it seems to propel the horse forward more, where like I couldn't do it, I just wouldn't be able to. So you kind of brought it back into style.
Yeah, no, listen, like I said, it wasn't really, it was just when I started doing it, I just felt that I could just get that little bit more of the horse's attention and just get it to go that little bit better.
As we know, racing is evolving all the time. You've been in it now 17 years. Is there anything you would change about racing? Anything, if you had a free hand tomorrow to change one thing? I know it's a tough question, what would it be?
The only thing I'd change about racing is prize money, Martin, if I'm honest. Tiggy, you know, we're running around for very little money for the value of the horses that we're on. And I think that's the only thing I'd change. If I could be given something, I'd be given a helicopter.
Is that what you want, yeah?
Because it'd just make it.
Start out with more prize money.
I could ride an extra couple out. Before I leave.
You started out with extra prize money. You said, "Oh no, let's just give me a helicopter."
Yeah, no. Well, listen. You asked me what I'd change about racing, and that I think is one of the only things I think. You know, I think it's an excellent sport, but prize money is a. It needs something doing about it quickly.
No, it's a fair comment.
It needs to move with the times, I feel.
Best trainer you've ridden for? You're torn here now, aren't you? I can see it already. Do I say
Clive?
Clive? Are you going to say Clive? Okay. Fair enough.
Do
you want us to retake it and then you can say Charlie?
I've been very lucky to ride for some great trainers, you know. But obviously, my two main supporters are Clive and Charlie. And you know, they're two very good trainers. You know, it's hard to say who's the best trainer, who's blah blah blah. But them two are.
Okay, well, we're nearly done. But one last question, which a lot of people. Somebody asked me to ask you this. Do you think you'd have won the Arc on Adair if you were riding instead of William?
No. Because I'd have done the same thing as him.
Right.
On the day.
William said the ground was against him. Do you think that was?
Yeah, no, listen, I think he's a big horse, and for him to go through heavy ground, to get all of that weight of his out that ground, I think it's was a negative for him on the day. You know, hindsight, you know, he probably should have been dropped in, you know, hindsight. Right. But on the day, I didn't think William done a lot wrong. Yeah, I'd be the first actually to say something, 'cause I would say.
I've got one thing to ask, Adam, and again, this is sort of off track, but I just wanted to chat about your agent. You've been with him a long time, and I think he works very hard, doesn't he? Just talk about Nicky Adams a little bit.
Yeah, no, he's always on the phone. He's always trying for you. Probably sometimes he tries too hard, you know.
But annoys people.
Yeah, I think he annoys quite a lot of people. But no, listen, he's a great guy, and
you've been with him a long time, haven't you?
It's been a long time. He probably should have sacked me a couple of times. You know, we've had
shouted at him?
Oh, we've had a couple of bingos, but no, he's listen, he's got great work ethic. And, you know, I can talk to him like a friend as well as I can an agent, but no, fair play to him. It's been a long time now. He's been doing a good job.
There's been quite a theme through this interview I've picked up on you. Very loyal person, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd like to think so, Martin, yeah. You know, I've been lucky to be, you know, involved with some very nice people, and, you know, if they're kind to me, it's trying your guts out to be kind back.
No, it's a good approach. Tell us one thing about Adam Kirby that people probably wouldn't know.
Can I answer that? Can I do it first?
Go on.
I'll never forget that skiing holiday when he was going through we were checking in, and I said, Adam, your suitcase is light. There was nothing in there.
one pair of boxes, wasn't there?
Oh, I left it in the back of the car, didn't I? Because we left at some ungodly hour, didn't we? And
I remember you skiing with
why
no
did you
gloves.
bring that up? Huh? Yeah.
So people have got now this image, racing TV viewers have got this image of you skiing just in a pair of boxer shorts and nothing else.
He did
That
once.
was me.
He did once.
That was me, yeah.
He did
Yeah.
once. Yeah, remember that? That
They were
was funny.
They were messy trips then, weren't they?
They were very messy, but wouldn't have changed any of them. Had some great times, went with some great lads, and enjoyed every minute of it.
How did we all survive? How did we come back in one piece?
He didn't. He got broken nose. Huh?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, bad day that.
They were good days, weren't they? We
Some
kind
great
of.
times.
Do you think the weighing room's changed a little bit in terms of the characters in there?
I think, yeah, it's changed massively, yeah. I think, when I first started riding, you were, there was a lot of senior riders about, and I think racing, when I started, was a lot more smoother. I think nowadays, some of them guys when I started, obviously now are retired, and the new moderns come in. I think there's some great riders still riding today. You know what I mean? It's great, but no, I think it's changed a lot.
Not quite the
Just
same.
pace of the race, anything regarding anything. The pace of the race nowadays is just everyone thinks you get to the front and just put the handbrake on. They think that's front running, but it's quite the opposite.
Tell us about riding around Lingfield, because you're the only jockey I know that's got a move named after him. They used to say the Kirby kick from the top turn at Lingfield, which you employed very successfully. Was that something you just made up yourself and it just worked for you, or tell us about that?
Why did I start it? Well, it's just kind of, again, Martin's instinct, It's downhill. It's downhill from the free, and, you can get away with it, but you've got to be on a good enough horse to get away with it, I'm not going to sit here and say, I've done this and I've done that. You still need the horse underneath you to be able to get away with doing it. And I might do it if I'm stuck out deep. Coming down that hill, I'd be disappointed if I wasn't on my way home, even if I did hit the front too soon. I don't like being wide coming off that turn. No. You used to be able to get away with it all the time, didn't you?
So he'd always come from the back, wouldn't he, late on and get you on the line.
I can't do that. Doesn't happen. Never get there.
But it's working out, and I feel like, again, that was as I said, it was judgment of pace. You were brilliant at it round there, and I'll never forget. James Dore came back from abroad once. He'd been wintering somewhere, and he goes, "What are you lot at, letting him do that at the front end all the time? He's nicking these races left, right, and centre." And I'll never forget. He went to take. I can't remember what he was riding in an all right race, and he went to take you on, and you nailed him. It was hilarious to watch, because he was making out we're all idiots. It was funny.
Yeah, nice.
James is probably one of your biggest pals in the weighing room. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, good friend, James. Yeah, good.
You
friend.
started out together as kids, didn't you?
Yeah.
Teenagers.
Yeah, in the racing school together.
I felt like you're very good friends. I know that, but you're big rivals as well. There's a lot of spurring each other on as such.
Yeah, no. Listen, obviously, when we started, we were both, very hungry for it, and we were very competitive when we were younger. Obviously, we're not really that competitive anymore. Well, not like that anymore, because you've been there and done it kind of thing now, and you're all just in your zone, aren't you? But no, listen, James is a top guy, and he's a great jockey too.
And William as well, you're good friends with him. So you're in a nice team, aren't you, with Charlie?
Yeah.
James and William, you all seem to share, you obviously won the Derby on a day, and then I'd seen you cheering him on when he's ran and Williams rode him. It all does seem like one big happy family.
Yeah, no, listen, like I said, we all get on very well. I think we all more or less say it how it is. There's no hiding behind the hedges there. If you've got it to say, it comes out, and good. It's a good show.
Yeah, well, it's certainly been a good show for you. Well, listen, Adam, it's been fantastic. Thanks for showing us around the estate and everything. We've learned a lot about Adam Kirby, the man, not just the jockey. We wish you all the best in the future. I'm sure you're going to have plenty more successful days in the saddle. And we look forward to you becoming a trainer in the future.
I'm unsure about that. But,
You changed your mind already?
I tell you what, Martin, I wouldn't want to ride for him. I know that for a fact. Oh, imagine that.
I don't know. I think it'd be great to ride for.
Do you think, would you use Martin?
Yeah.
He's definitely saying that.
I'm only saying that because you're here. No, but no, all jokes aside, it's been a pleasure having you both, and good job.